All right, this is Brother Aisha Yar coming back at you with another lesson. First off, I want to give all praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai Ba'Shem, Wakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone. Honors to all of the brothers pushing this truth with truth and sincerity through the four corners of the earth. And today, I want to get into a lesson about the famine that's coming over to this country and to the rest of the world sooner or later. Right now, they're pushing it slowly. You're starting to see a lot of articles and a lot of things coming up with major chains like Wendy's is running short on beef. Now, it was already reported that a lot of butcher shops were running short on meat because of the COVID-19, the coronavirus, and they said it wasn't safe for workers who had COVID to be around the meat, and a lot of the meats aren't being distributed to certain places now because truck drivers' loads are getting shorter. And on the screen right here, I have a short video of this guy talking about the shortage of pork as well. Even though you ain't supposed to be eating that in the first place, so if you want to know and you come across this, you actually should be rejoicing because you ain't supposed to be eating that shit anyway. They tell you that in Leviticus 11th chapter that you're not supposed to eat swine. It's unclean to you. But anyway, you know, to the average person who likes to put bacon in on everything, have their pork chops, you know, you want to be pops and everything from Fridays, had a pig feed and all of that. You know, that's a scary thing for somebody who loves to eat that shit every day. But regardless, he's still talking about the shortage even on that. And pretty much the more and more that this COVID continues, or the more and more that this country allows these shutdowns to continue, that's the more and more that the food is going to become short. It's going to get shorter and shorter and shorter and shorter and shorter to the point where you're literally going to walk in these supermarkets, your stores, your local grocery stores, wherever you buy fruit from. If you get it delivered from online or whatever the case may be, it's going to get to the point where you can't even do that because there's not going to be any food to find. And that's going to be a scary thing for a lot of people. But for the elect and the 1/3 who keeps their faith in Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai, they're going to be okay. They're going to go through this, and the Most High is going to lead them to ways to eat. He's going to lead them to shelter. He's going to lead them so they can keep living and keep pushing while this place is in sorrow and pain, you know? So when you see things like this and you come across articles and everything, you know, you shouldn't be afraid of it. You should rejoice because this is another sign that, you know, we're getting closer to the end. And you should be happy about this. But at the same time, of course, we still living here. So your heart might beat a little bit because you're like, oh, man, what if he doesn't, you know, what if he's not dealing with me? And, you know, what if the Most High doesn't preserve me? You know, you're not supposed to have that kind of mind state. You're supposed to be out here and be like, nah, you know, I'm keeping the commandments, statutes, and laws, following the high holy days and Sabbaths to my best abilities. And we keeping it pushing by doing the work. So I ain't gonna babble too much. I got this one video right here that I'm gonna let him speak, only a couple of minutes. Then I got another video set up with somebody else speaking about the beef shortages, and then I'm gonna read an article about the Wendy's, and then we're gonna get into the scriptures. Alright, so here we go.
Well, the economic issues caused by all the pork plants being closed are very complex. The farmers who raise the hogs have to euthanize them if there's no market for them. And Congressman Colin Peterson says that we are just 3 weeks away from having no pork products in the grocery stores if the plants don't reopen.
I think we're on a path to get this thing resolved.
Congressman Colin Peterson, the chairman of the U.S. House Ag Committee, says the federal government is prioritizing reopening the meatpacking plants in Worthington, Sioux Falls, and Waterloo after President Trump used the Defense Production Act to order those types of facilities open during the pandemic. But Peterson and Governor Tim Walz say that can't happen until the workers are safe and confident to come to work. That's what the feds, the JBS Worthington pork plant, and union reps are hammering out now. Peterson can't give a timeline, but says it will have to happen soon.
And unfortunately, if we don't get this thing solved, the people are going to find out, because we're not going to have pork on the shelves. We're about 3 weeks away from not having pork on the shelves in the grocery stores. And maybe that'll wake people up.
Peterson announced 500 JBS employees have tested positive for COVID-19. That's about 1 in 4 workers, and includes those without symptoms. Meantime, farmers who raise the hogs are now forced to euthanize them and say it won't take long to go broke.
It'll break us fast if we get euthanized all of our hogs and don't get reimbursed for it. To me, they got to get the processing plants going. And yes, safety of the workers is number one priority. But how do you instill confidence in the worker to be safe when they go to work? That's hard to do.
And Congressman Peterson says that nationwide, 160,000 hogs need to be euthanized every day if there are not pork plants to take them. Here in Worthington, 3,000 hogs a day. And the reason that is because the supply chain is so interwoven. When farmers are raising hogs, if they get too big, they can't be processed anymore at plants like this. And then there's other hogs that are growing right behind them that will take their place. And so it's a really big problem, and having to euthanize all those pigs is a whole other issue because they need to find ways to do it without contamination. Back to you.
So much to consider. My goodness. All right. Thank you, Lou.
So much to consider. I mean, it is. Like I said, when you think about the majority of the people that depends on pork, because, you know, one of the main things is they make pork the cheapest meat. Like, people probably want to get like beef or certain types of fish or something like that, but pork is the cheapest thing to buy.
Hey, how does apartments.com have the most listings?
So when people go into the grocery stores, I remember when I was working at Sam's Club, you know, they had you could buy big slab or shoulder pork butt or whatever it was, $15 to $20, and it was probably about, it was pounds of meat. Now, if you would have did the same thing with beef, that price would have doubled or even more expensive. I remember you could buy a big slab or a big thing of a ribeye meat or whatever the case may be. That would be like $120 compared to the same amount of meat with pork to only be like $20, $25. Showing you that they making you buy these things on purpose, and then they trying to ultimately make Jake go off by eating abominable things and doing other things that that displeases the Most High. But we gonna get into this next video. This next video is talking about how the beef prices are starting to go up in places like Kroger and Costco, because now they have a limited supply on beef. And you know, when that happens, when you only have a limited supply, you have to make up the money for what you normally would have in a store. So you can't just sell anything at the same price as you did, because the stores have to maintain being open. They have to, you know, pay employees, they have to take care of bills, take care of whatever it is they have to in order for that store to maintain. So if they don't have the supply, then what do? You bring the prices up. So we'll get into this. Let me full screen it. And play it.
That's because
and then I'll skip it.
we're willing to scout them out no matter how far away. Kevin.
Okay.
This is Dabu7. Looking now at the wholesale beef prices, it begins. We've talked about this, we've warned about this, we've told people get a plan, start growing your own food, or at least stocking up. And here it is. We see this going through the roof. They warned about this. Okay, we were talking about this when they were saying we're going to shut down plants. It is kind of like inevitable. The prices are going to rise as the demand rise and as you've got less product to put out there. This is what is happening. Tyson made the announcement that they were going to shut down all these plants, and they control the largest portion of beef and chicken in this country. Along with them, Smithfield and others shutting down. And we have places like Costco and Kroger saying that they're limiting food items. as the beef price soars through the roof. Once again, we try to tell people to get ahead of the curve here so they don't have to suffer and getting hit with these astronomical prices in things that they're going to need. So if it's starting here, what this summer is going to look like, man, people better be praying that things ease up and get back on track. But by all accounts, it doesn't look like that. Even as they're starting to lift lockdowns in some areas, it's timed with the shutdown of these beef plants. And there's no end in sight. There is no opening date on the books. So this is real when it comes to the beef prices soaring and a shortage, very real. It has begun. I'm hoping that people out there prepared and listened, heeded the signs. I'm going to break this down further. I'm going to talk about some tactics involved with this. Survival tactics and a few other things in the next live stream. Make sure to join us over here on DLive, going live Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern. Hope to see you guys there.
Like he just told you, beef prices are going up, and even he said there's no end in sight. And first off, that video is from a channel called Dabu77. Oh, Salagia.
Advocate Aurora Health is here to help you stay safe and healthy.
From a YouTube channel called Dabu77. You can look him up. He brings out a lot of good news articles, videos, letting you know what's happening in the world. He's been pretty legit as far as what I've been seeing, as far as everything that's going on across the country and the whole world. But yeah, he sees it. Certain people are trying to give people warnings about these things that's about to happen, and still people don't take heed to anything. People are just so comfortable with whatever their life is and their customs and everything like that, because everybody always just keeps that it's going to be okay spirit within them, and literally these places are telling you that it's not. But people are not preparing for it. They just want to keep doing whatever they want to do, but let them do it. That's part of prophecy anyway. He was saying in the video that you better pray and do this and that, but hey, that ain't even gonna do it, because if you're not praying on Yahweh B'Shem, Yahweh Shai, you done anyway. You're not even calling on the right name. The majority of people don't even know who his name is, or if they do know it, they not following him the way they supposed to. Scriptures tell you that he always going to save a small remnant, and that's going to happen again on this side. Only 144,000 along with the 1/3. So, hey, it's out here. Hey, get with it. I'm going to go to this next one. This is the last one article about the Wendy's I was talking about earlier. This is not a video. I'm just going to read. It's a short article. It says 1 in 5 Wendy's is out of beef, analysts say. The national meat shortage has come for Wendy's, which is a major thing. A major chain can't even give their own food. A burger chain can't even sell burgers. How about that? But it says the fast food chain, Salakia, says some menu items are unavailable, and one analyst estimates nearly 1 in 5 of Wendy's restaurants are out of beef. Okay, I thought that video was about to play. Around 1,000 or 18% of Wendy's 5,500 U.S. restaurants are not serving any hamburgers or other meat-based items, according to an analyst of online menus at every location conducted by financial firm Stephens. Wendy's is more exposed to the shortage sparked by the coronavirus pandemic because of its reliance on fresh beef compared with its competitors, the note said. I got a feeling this video about to play. There we go. Wendy's says some of its menu items might be temporarily limited at some restaurants in this current environment. The company said its delivery schedule remains unchanged, but supply has been tight because beef suppliers across North America face production challenges during the pandemic. Many meat suppliers have temporarily closed their factories because workers are falling ill from COVID-19. We're working diligently to minimize the impact to our customers and restaurants and continue to work with our supplier partners to monitor this closely, a Wendy's spokesman said. This company is scheduled to report its first quarter earnings Wednesday. The severity of Wendy's shortages depends on the geographic nature of processing plant closures, wrote Stephens analyst James Rutherford. In states such as Ohio, Michigan, and New York, around 30% of Wendy's are out of the fresh meat. 30%, that's a lot already. That's already being close to half. Other states like Arizona, Nevada, and Louisiana aren't affected. Wendy's online menus have shifted in recent days. They are emphasizing chicken sandwiches, Rutherford said in his note to investors. Rutherford doesn't expect the beef shortages to hurt Wendy's profits if the shortage is fixed quickly. He also noted Wendy's newly launched breakfast menu is highly profitable. Hey, but they still put bacon and stuff on there. I mean, you can take it off, but this is what they promote, so whatever. And yeah, it's pretty much it. Goes to ads and stuff here. But even though they're saying, you know, their whole menu isn't gone, you know, it's not like they're closing, but we're seeing the start of things, you know. We starting to see places not receive the food that they will usually get. And that's like he said in another video, the more and more this happens, that's the more and more it's going to become from just a little bit of meat out to a lot of meat out to all of the meat is gone. And if people are not prepared for this, hey, like I said, people won't be prepared for it. They're not going to try to stock up on food and everything like that. They're going to try to stock up on food as soon as they see that it's no food. They're not going to listen to these news articles. They're not going to listen to us. They're just going to be like, man, whatever, you know, hey, we all good. Hey, give me my next stimulus check. I heard they about to pay rent and mortgage free for a year, $2,000 a month. That's all Jake think about, man. And they've been exposed with a recent article that just came out. As soon as I think it was in Atlanta, as soon as their lockdown got uplifted, first thing they spent their money on was $200 pair of shoes for Jordans, showing you that Jake don't know how to save money and he don't know how to utilize his money for what's necessary. So, and it's the same way with the Edomites and these other nations. They not gonna listen either. It don't even matter if they listen anyway, cause y'all not gonna make it. Y'all, this is supposed to happen to y'all. Hey, y'all time is up. And we seeing it happen. So, but at the same time, as we seeing this happen, like I said, we got to keep in the back of our mind and keep the faith that the Most High is gonna preserve us through these times. So I'm gonna get some scriptures that I got set up. Bear me for a second. I know the system could be slow at times with loading. Okay. Let me see if I should start a little bit from the it will start at 17. It's Job 5 and 17. It says, behold, happy is the man who the Most High corrected. Therefore despise not thou the chastening of the Almighty. Yeah, happy is the man that the Most High corrected, you know, because once you come into this and you start examining yourself and you start correcting all of the things that you were you know, going off on in the world, happy are you, because now you're following the commandments, statutes, and laws of the Most High. You following his ways, you know. Therefore despise not the chastening of the Most High, because it's supposed to happen. People are going to get chastised, you know, and that's going to happen to us too. But he's going to preserve his elect, so we won't have to go through as much hell as everybody else. For he maketh sore and bind it up, he wounded and his hands make whole. So yeah, Most High is going to bring all of these plagues and this famine and stuff here, but he also makes he also makes whole, which is his elect. He wounded. He's going to wound a lot of people. He shall deliver thee in 6 troubles, yea, in 7 there shall no evil touch thee. In famine he shall redeem thee from death, and in war from the power of the sword. Most High is going to protect the elect. In war from the power of the sword. In famine he shall redeem thee from death. He's going to find us a way to eat. But you know, you got to keep the faith and everything. It's not like it's going to happen immediately, because there's no faith in something that's just happening so fast. You know, faith is something that you believe is going to happen, but you don't see it. So if you don't see food coming at you real fast, don't lose the faith and feel like he's not dealing with you. Just keep it pushing. All right, we're gonna go to the next one. Jeremiah 11. Let me see if I should. Yeah, I'll just start here. Jeremiah 5:11. For the house of Israel and the house of Judah have dealt very treacherously against me, saith the Lord. They have bellied the Lord, and said, it is not he, neither shall evil come upon us, neither shall we see sword nor famine. Now this is talking about 2/3 not believing on the Most High and not taking heed to what we telling them. We telling you that this is coming, but you can see every day nobody's not thinking about this, man. I've been seeing people like on Facebook or speaking to people or whatever the case may be, and you know, they'll post something like, oh man, that's messed up, Wendy's ain't selling beef. Oh man, that's messed up, you know, Costco's running short on food. And then they'll just keep it moving like nothing happened. And that's and that's crazy. If they literally telling you that this is going to happen, you should be preparing yourself for it. But Jake not going to do that. They have bellied the Lord and said, it is not he. It is not the Most High that's bringing this famine. It's not the Most High that's bringing this COVID. It's not the Most High that's killing these people. It's not the Most High that's destroying this place. But the scriptures tell you the Lord does good and evil. Neither shall evil come upon us. Jake thinks nothing's gonna happen to him, and you see that. They just go out and act like everything is all good. But hey, the Most High is gonna open Jake's eyes when this gets worse. Like Dabu said in the video, hey, this summer could be major. If they not gonna be prepared for it, neither shall we see sword nor famine. Hey, but y'all will though. These troops out here and this food is disappearing, so you gonna see it. All right, this is Ezekiel 6:11. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, the Most High, smite with thy hand and stamp with thy foot, and say, alas, for all the evil abominations of the house of Israel, for they shall fall by the sword, by the famine, and by the pestilence. He that is far off shall die of the pestilence, and he that is near shall fall by the sword, and he that remaineth is besieged shall die by the famine. Thus will I accomplish fury upon them. Accomplish. This is the Most High's goal. To get rid of the heathen, to get rid of these other nations, and you 2/3. Trying to wake y'all up, trying to tell you this is going to happen. You don't want to listen. So, hey, he's going to make sure that the people who didn't want to take heed to this feel these things. Y'all better get with it, man. But this is for the people in the know. Romans 8:33. I'll read down pretty much the end, right? Yeah. 8:33. Who shall lay anything to the charge of the Most High's elect? It is the Most High that justifieth. Who is he that condemneth? It is Yahushua Hamashiach that died, yea, rather that is risen again, who is even at the right hand of the Most High, who also maketh intercession for us. Who shall separate us from the love of Yahushua Hamashiach? Shall tribulation, or distress, or persecution, or famine, or nakedness, or peril, or sword? As it is written, for thy sake we are killed all the day long. We are accounted as sheep for the slaughter. Basically saying right here, we already going through hell. We already been poor. We already been broke. We already been locked up. We already been killed. Now we sacrificing ourselves even more to push this truth, because you know the elites, they're gonna make sure that whoever posts these videos, whoever go out on the highways and the byways, they're gonna find us first, because we making ourselves living sacrifices, because we trying to wake the elect up and get up out of here. For thy sake we are killed all the day long. We are counted as sheep for the slaughter. Nay, in all these things we are more than conquerors through him that loved us. For I am persuaded that neither death, nor life, nor angels, nor principalities, nor powers, nor things present, nor things to come, nor height, nor depth, nor any other creature shall be able to separate us from the love of the Most High, which is in Yahushua HaMashiach our Lord. So even though we're going to see these things happen, we're going to keep the scriptures, and we're going to keep the Most High and his Son in our minds. We're going to keep Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahushua in our minds, and they're going to guide us through these times. Principalities of this world, the powers of this world, the things that's going on now, and the things that we know are to come, death nor life, none of these things are gonna turn us back. We're gonna keep remembering these scriptures right here, because they have stories. It's like the story of when Moses brought out Israel out of Egypt, you know, and Israel was murmuring, saying like, we haven't had anything to drink or to eat. What did the Most High do? He brought out manna from heaven. Things like that are gonna happen. You know, you might just be outside, an animal that you actually can eat, it just appear out of nowhere. You might not even have skills with a bow and arrow or be quick. But the Most High might make that animal stay there long enough for you to catch it, and you can eat it. Or the animals might out of nowhere have bread in their claws. You never know what the Most High will do to make sure that you eat enough so you can keep going. You got to keep the faith. Let's get Revelation 18:7. How much she hath glorified herself and lived deliciously. So much torment and sorrow give her. For she saith in her heart, I sit a queen and am no widow and shall see no sorrow. This is talking about America, man. Because America and these Edomites, you know, they live deliciously. And, you know, the rich people of this world, they definitely ain't worried about anything. They just like, man, we just gonna get it regardless, because we have all the money, we have all the connections, we're gonna be okay no matter what happens. They saying they gonna see no sorrow, but you will. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire, for strong is the Lord Yahweh who judgeth her. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, once the famine hits, once martial law hits, once Esau try to chip everybody and everything, America's going to be destroyed by thermonuclear destructions. It's going to be millions of missiles shot over here, and this place is going to be destroyed in 1 hour. Let's read it. Here it is right here. 18:9. The kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her and lament for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning. Because everybody's going to realize that America is gone and burning. And a lot of these countries are going to be astonished, because a lot of these countries do come to America for a lot of things, you know, as far as like finances, money, or resources, whatever the case may be. And this whole world's gonna be like, wow, America is gone. And then here's the key in this verse: standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, alas, alas, that great city Babylon, which is America right now, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come. This whole country is gonna be destroyed in 1 hour. And it took y'all years, over 400, 500, 600 years to establish this place, and it's going to be destroyed in 1 hour. And that's a beautiful thing. I think I'm gonna get this scripture and one more, then I'm gonna close it. This is Isaiah 65:13. Therefore says the Lord Yahweh, behold, my servant shall eat, but you shall be hungry. Behold, my servant shall drink, but you shall be thirsty. Behold, my servant shall rejoice, but you shall be ashamed. The elect, let's read it like that. Therefore said the Lord Most High Yahweh, behold, the elect shall eat, but the 2/3 and the other nations shall be hungry. The elect shall drink, but the 2/3 and other nations shall be thirsty. Behold, the elect shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. So hey, if you know you out here doing the work and you know you out here trying to follow the Most High to your best abilities and you keep doing it until the end, the Most High is going to guide you. And we're going to end it with this right here. Psalms 37:18. The Lord knoweth the days of the upright, and their inheritance shall be forever. They shall not be ashamed in the evil time, and in the days of famine they shall be satisfied. So when people not out here eating, we gonna be satisfied. He's gonna find a way for us to eat, and it might be times where he's gonna find a way for us to eat, and it's gonna be a lot of food. He's gonna be that water. He's gonna be that bread. He's gonna make sure we stay stable. But the wicked shall perish, and the enemies of the Lord shall be as the fat of lambs. They shall consume into smoke. They shall consume away. That smoke, once again, it's talking about the thermonuclear destruction, because they will consume. It tell you, and I forget where it's at, where your eyes shall consume in your face, and your tongue shall melt away. To that point, I believe, because that's how hot these nuclear missiles gonna be. The wicked is gonna perish, and that wicked consists of the 2/3 and all of the other nations. But the elect, they shall not be ashamed in the evil time. In the days of famine, they shall be satisfied. So we got to remember that. You know, don't be afraid when everything goes down. Don't be afraid when this actually hits the city or the neighborhood that you are in. You know, just be like, hey, well, we knew this was gonna happen. He like I said in my past video, he gave us advantage over everybody else. He opened our eyes so we could prepare for this, while everybody else, his eyes are closed, and they're not even trying to, and they won't. Like I said, they won't try to prepare for anything until they actually see this go down, and by then it's gonna be too late. So yeah, just remember, all you brothers and sisters out there, we almost out of here. So keep the faith in Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai. So with that said, I'm going to say, call halal, Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem, Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the elders of Great Millstone. Honors to the brothers pushing his word with truth and sincerity. And Lord willing, I'll be back at you with another lesson. Shalom.